This application would be type 2 under seeker, so there's no further environmental review necessary
Okay.
before the board elects.
Does that have to, I've screwed this up before. Does that have to be noted or have you already noted it?
You should make note of it, it's not been noted.
It'd be good for you to make note of
It's
it,
part of the record.
Okay.
but if it's, yeah, but you're safe even if you don't typically, because type 2 doesn't require any action, so. Having to say that it
Exactly.
doesn't require any action kind of defeats the
Yeah,
purpose and
that-
say,
to that regard, yeah.
yeah, so
No,
you're good.
I'm good now.
We're good now? All right, so welcome to the July 2025 Village of Fayetteville Planning Board. One item on the agenda after the meeting is closed, we'll discuss the car wash just to ourselves, but with Karen here so she can take notes. Dave, you're the only person on the agenda, so every now and then we're looking there, but we're talking to you.
Got it.
Because Ted said so, I'm gonna note under secret, this is a type 2, so no further action necessary. Yes, I've done a thing tonight. All right.
Nailed it.
All right, Dave, what are you doing and why are you doing it?
I make my driveway a little bit bigger.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm kind of playing around, and I already did the work that I was gonna do. I haven't done this, I haven't made it pretty yet, but I didn't realize I needed to do anything. But I'm making it a little bit bigger. All our kids have cars now. And they don't fit in our driveway. And so this is my solution for that. I also am long-term, my pavement is almost done. I'm gonna have to replace it in the next couple of years. I looked into options this year doing pavement or concrete. And then I was like, I kind of want to play around. I do a lot of gardening, yard work, and we got rid of our garage. And I'm playing around in my head with the idea of getting rid of the top half of our driveway and turning that into a patio. In which case I'd want to have a bigger lower end of the driveway so I could get 3 cars in there. And I do better when I visualize it and I like digging. And so I dug the thing out and I put it in and I figured I'm gonna see what it looks like and go from there. And if I don't like it in a year or two, I'll put grass back in. And if I do like it, that affects what I end up doing going forward. So honestly, at this point, I don't know what my long-term plan is, but for your purposes, the plan is I extend the driveway by
Okay.
the measurements I put on there.
I noticed just a couple quick questions. I noticed there's a lot of cars on the road. Are you completely dependent upon road parking right now?
If all my kids are home, and they're, 2 of them are graduated from college, so. Then we have 5 cars and only space for 4.
Okay.
But my brother lives next door to me and we can put his car in his parking in his garage in the winter and stuff like that, so.
So this space right now.
And they're not usually home, all home. This would give us 5, which would be nice. The real advantage is that we don't have to move shuffle cars in and out so much as it is to get all 5. That just doesn't come up very often.
No,
Go ahead. Was that a no or was it?
no, I mean, it was my statement as somebody that has 4 cars in my driveway. I certainly understand. The one thing I'll say up front, is that once you visualize before you dig moving forward, please make sure to talk to the codes officer and make sure that we're doing everything that.
No, he told me that. I mean, he saw I already had the whole thing dug out and the stone there and I had rented the machine for the day and I was like, well, what's the point of stopping at this point? You tell me I don't want to, so, but yeah, I get it. And I'm not planning on doing any further digging, so I don't think it's an issue anyway.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
Was there a reason that you, like, looking at the home, the apron is on the right side of the driveway instead of the left?
The apron, is that the part that?
Yeah, your extension.
Oh, well, the left I have a garden,
Oh, okay.
so yeah.
And I also noticed that what you dug out isn't exactly what matches this drawing.
Yeah, it is. It's supposed to be. I measured it and put it on there. What's different?
The part,
Oh, the part next to the mailbox that comes in?
yes,
I put that, so I didn't realize that, so after Mike drove by and told me, I dug out a square section. And then,
Yeah,
he said the 25% was the rule that it could be, so. My understanding was that was on the road, so I dug some of the dirt out, put dirt back in there,
okay,
and. If that's the requirement, then I'll make that more, but there is dirt there in that section. It's not very live looking dirt because I had to go get it out of my back of my yard where I'd thrown it away in the woods and stomped it back in there. But if that's out, it's like, there's no point doing too much work until you guys tell me what to do. So if that's the thing, I'll turn that dirt back into regular grass. But it is grass now. Just ugly grass.
so is that the proposed total driveway is 651 square feet, well, 652 square feet? Is that what this drawing is? As it's drawn there, is that what this is? Or is it what you had originally dug up?
No, that should be the full amount.
The full,
26 times 20 is 409 times 19, 2080, so 580. So I don't even know how it comes out to 651. Wait, no, 20 times 25 is 500. And 9 times 19 is 171, so it'd be 671 minus that, and I measured too high on that. So yeah, that's the amount that's in the drawing there.
so this is not what you had, because you had dug up this.
I originally dug up that,
And
but then I put grass back.
this
in there.
is not, this is what the drawing is.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, the
Those
652
calculations
is
are
the-
based on the drawing.
yes.
Okay,
And the drawing, I guess that part right there, that corner is not to scale. Because I couldn't have shown what I was doing with it if it's such a small drawing, but it's almost to scale. Like it is basically,
Yeah.
that is what it is. I didn't have a way to measure that. I don't. Fine,
Don't.
you know,
No,
Okay.
I noticed the same, and if what we're approving tonight is based on this sketch, I'm gonna have some advised changes, and given you're a gardener, you have a much greener thumb than I do, this shouldn't be a big deal.
Okay. I mean, honestly, so I understand the 25% rule differently now than I understood it before. I think either way, I meet the requirements,
Mhm.
but that would be better if it was square. Than
Well,
if that section's cut out.
Like the car
But I'll
that's
do
parked
whatever you
there,
guys want.
the car that's parked there right now, I noticed that it had driven straight in.
Yeah,
So because that's there, but we'd like to shield that in some way from the road, is my thought. You're a gardener, so this isn't gonna be so hard for
Okay.
you, is my initial thought. But John, no thoughts or questions? You're good,
Okay.
okay. My thought is I'd like to see some plantings in between, say, a shrub between your mailbox and where it connects to the existing driveway, and then a couple more going up that spine.
okay,
So I'm thinking like a privet or something like that. I know you guys will be really excited that Joanne's like, I've been learning from her. It's just a word to me, but I got to see what it is in front of Joanna. Something that provides some blockage from the road. So I say a privet, but something that can grow 3 feet, let's say, to block that pavement from the road, but you can still get into that angle.
so between the mailbox
Mhm.
and the driveway, you're saying, in
Yeah.
that triangle area.
So what I'm referring to, Karen, is where the combination of the new and existing driveway meet at the road. Just to the right of that, a couple feet is a mailbox,
The triangle area, so to speak.
the triangle area. So within that, I'd like to see a row of shrubs along here,
Okay.
just something blocking that from the road. There's only 2 others in your neighborhood that I've noticed that have a something like where something is paved, and it doesn't look right for the neighbors. So blocking this in some way is something that I'd be game for. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I like evergreens better than
Yeah, I was gonna
privet
say
that you
that,
have to trim.
Evergreen's gonna have to get big, right?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
you
you
know,
don't,
it's like an Alberta, you
I
can
think you
Alberta
should be
spruce.
mindful of within that 10 foot.
Yeah, I was
right
gonna
of way
say,
with planting.
cause I was gonna say that's gonna
Sightline
require,
for a lot of reasons.
I was gonna say that might be within the easement area, so you would have to get like a street tree if anything, right?
A tree tree?
It does.
No,
have
like
to
a
decision-
street, like
You
a,
have to be
like some-
mindful of what you're planting there.
if you're that close to
Let's
the
just say
edge.
some foliage.
If you're that close to the edge, are you within the easement area?
Yeah, but there's a lot of plantings on the side of the road.
As long as
How
you're
big is the easement area?
10 feet,
10 feet.
roughly 10 feet,
Off the
I
road?
mean, even this is within that.
right.
Well, it's just a question of what can you
We
put there,
wouldn't
like, you know.
Like big rocks or hardscape, I mean, mailbox is permitted, but technically, you know, you don't usually put anything along the edge of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
Like, we're talking about going up.
A garden is one thing, but.
Just the
if you're trying to-
diagonal, yes, just the diagonal.
If you're talking, you know, gardens, one thing, little plantings,
Mhm.
even that
Mhm.
perennials is one thing, but. Pine trees or evergreens might be,
Too big.
so I
They
think
would
for
want
what
to
you're
be-
saying, the easiest thing would be a boxwood. Cause
Oh,
you could cut them
that's
about
right.
any size you want,
Boxwood, that's
But-
exactly, yeah.
but but what you're saying about putting it so close to the road is it. I am concerned that's gonna be more of an issue for a plow than it's gonna be. It,
Well, and
to me,
salt.
as a gardener, it's gonna look. I get your idea, and I do want it to look nice, I mean, but I have a feeling that's gonna look odd. It's not hard to do,
Right.
so I'm happy doing it if that's what it takes to do this, so I can play with it for a couple more years in my head. But,
something that distinguishes it from
So-
driveways, which are getting it,
Yes,
so it
yeah.
doesn't look like you could,
So it doesn't look like
right.
a big,
do you have like a
Road.
border going around anywhere else, like a brick border or like a, you know, like one of those little, even those little like, you know, fence looking things, those little. And then turn it into like a little garden.
Picket fence.
yeah, I'm just thinking some greenery, something that blocks it.
I've no
And I'm
problem.
open to leaving it a little gray, some shrubbery
Yeah.
that covers that from the road. I think you know what what I wanna see, just something that blocks that view.
yeah.
That still allows you to turn in.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying. I don't think it's gonna accomplish what you want. And I'm not trying to be,
Is
but
this a suggestion or a requirement?
I want it to be a requirement, something there that blocks it.
so my intention, so you're not gonna block it, cause it's uphill slanted a little, unless I put something
Mhm.
significant in there, which is gonna look odd in the middle of the yard. It's gonna look like a weird planting in the middle of the spot. So it's hard, cause with what I do for this project and what I do in general. In general, ultimately, a lot of my front yard is gonna turn into stuff like what you're saying.
Mhm.
But that's not gonna happen this summer. And I think whatever you require me to do, I need to do this summer, so. Anything big I put there is gonna take a couple of years to, at least to.
Doesn't have to be big, I mean, you can- as long as you're planting it now. You know, I mentioned a privet because they're small to start.
Yeah.
But I'm open to something that is green like. And based on, again, going back to the difference between what I'm seeing here in this paper. And what I saw when I drove by and took pictures, I wanna see something that blocks that corner.
Like maybe like an ornamental tree. I mean, it wouldn't be that big, but like, you know, if you did like a little. like, one of these little guys. You know, like a little something like that.
I'm actually thinking more along the lines of like this kind of stuff.
Oh, what about, yeah, then how about maybe like an ornamental tree with some stuff like down in the lower area to like help fill it in?
I don't wanna overly landscape it, like he's definitely the right person for it. I just want something that comes off the ground a few feet to differentiate between that drive lane and the grass that's supposed to be in front.
This is the tree.
Okay,
Yeah.
Or whatever, some greenery that's supposed to be in front of it.
okay,
So I'm open to your creativity as long as there's some plant life there between that section of pavement and the road. Am
okay,
I speaking anywhere near clearly?
No, but, I mean, I get what you're saying. It doesn't have to be anything major. It
Yeah.
just needs to be something, you know, probably like knee high.
yeah, yeah.
And probably my knee is supposed to.
And
stop
hardy.
Yeah.
Really hardy, cause you know what?
It's gonna
You know what happens by the road?
Get buried.
Salt.
Yeah.
Get buried.
I
But it's
literally
back-
can't grow anything 2 feet near the road.
I know, which covers the space, I do. I get what you're going for, I just don't wanna promise on something I have a feeling isn't gonna work.
Mhm.
But I'll try to put something in there and
Again, if there's there's plenty of plants that can survive salt. That's not my world.
Yeah,
But find something that'll survive, that'll flourish there.
so let me ask, is there a possibility of just having it be the full size and turning that corner, taking that corner out and putting it into driveway?
One of your neighbors.
Isn't that still within code?
Your calculation depends on exactly, so his
Okay.
math his math is within
So I'm too close.
what looks
There's
like
no
a few
room.
feet of.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
alright,
So you're, yeah.
One of his neighbors has a big old rock with like some hostas around it,
Mhm.
maybe a big old rock.
ah,
I mean, you know, it's within the easement, but as long as, you know, I think the snowplow.
That would solve, that would,
Like a 10 square foot
yeah,
difference.
yeah, I have houses right near the road and on the other side of the driveway,
is it,
and a big rock.
Am I
Sorry.
looking at this right, that to keep it with?
Drag that
being
big
up
old
to
rock over, throw some
25%,
hostas, they'll
like a 10
live.
square foot.
Yeah.
he's tight, so that's why the math depends on exactly this.
Okay, I gotcha. Cause the 25%, so I thought when I put that corner in, actually, that the 25% was 25% along the road,
No,
but it's 25% of the
area.
front yard.
Yeah.
So that,
You'd have to
So-
look at that calculation.
yeah, no, I know,
Your
so,
height, it's possible, it certainly could be revised.
yeah, okay,
To that. It's
Okay.
something to consider, but he just based it off what you had put in here.
yeah, that's right,
It has
that's
nothing to
right,
do
yep.
with literally the street line.
No, it's funny,
You know,
'cause I-
all frontage from
yeah,
the front of the house to.
Okay, okay,
to the
I'm
road.
going to just word it to say that section has to be landscaped.
That
Whether
would
it's
be
a
great.
rock,
It's
So
that would be
whatever's
great, cause
there.
that allows me a big rock option.
Yeah.
Which I can
that's fine,
It's
fine by me.
Right back. and
speaking
something
to
there.
setbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you guys good with that?
I'm perfectly
Yeah.
fine with that.
Yes. See,
All right, can I make a motion?
Sure.
Make a motion to approve the application as submitted with the understanding that applicant will be landscaping the space between the added drive lane, the triangular angle of the drive lane and the road, with whether it be landscape stone or shrubs
and or, and
or
slash.
and
Or
slash or
Yeah.
shrubs.
Yeah, probably a combination. That's easier. And
Okay.
can look nicer.
I get what you're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah,
But if the calculation depends on exactly this.
yeah,
I wanna make sure that it doesn't just look like a highway.
that
And-
works for me.
And the only other thing I'm gonna say is that, you have to be, you will, if you decide to do something different with the front part of it or the part of it that's closest to your house.
Yeah.
You said something about a patio or,
I could turn that into a patio and then only have
Yep.
space for 3 cars.
right. So if you were to do that, please talk to the codes guy. And because, I mean, I would think a patio would be akin to a porch.
There's a whole nother calculation for the amount of curb, let's call it, or frontage.
Not necessarily, depends on how it's been.
I think that's a cool idea.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
If it's
To
elevated.
create a patio
Well, you,
right outside of that.
Yeah,
We kind of did
You
that in
did
our
that.
front,
yeah,
like where the front door is. I mean, our garage is separate,
you,
but our front door, we have the pavers.
Yeah.
They're at the front door.
yeah,
And it's an awesome place to sit out because
Yeah.
people are walking by. It's a welcoming spot. I can't get John to come up the driveway with the kids.
oh, really?
He won't come up my driveway. You afraid of Cheeto?
I don't know, have I come up your driveway on Halloween a couple times?
They come up my driveway.
Hold on, I need a second so we can get this guy out of here.
Second, I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you.
Motion passed.
sounds great.
Nice
Thank
job
y'all very
on the
much.
landscaping, by the way. And if you like digging, I've got some projects for you.
I got a lot of data. But as long as you're all here, you probably know the answer. Is there a Hannaford going in? Is that happening?
There's
I
a,
don't know yet.
there's a planned grocery store.
And it's still in the, is it, because it had been stuck in the whole brown zone thing, seemed like the last time I think I asked. Whatever.
Yeah, it's kind
Is
of
it
a.
moving forward?
kind of
or
a
is it
quagmire.
still Stuck. I saw a whole bunch
Still
of trucks.
still got a
back
couple
there.
more steps to go. But it, like every day, there's a couple steps forward.
When that happens, can you make sure there's a path that goes from the back of it down to Coulter Park? there's a spot down there and it goes along the creek and it's not that far from it. It would make it really accessible to Brookside neighborhood. And
Whatever
I,
was, whatever was
I
approved.
think that
has
ship
been
has sailed.
approved.
It's already gone through. I can't remember what there is for paths or isn't. I don't think that's part of
Would
it.
agree with that statement?
Yes.
I know.
my statement,
Yeah.
Yes.
When it was-
No.
everybody in Portland would. It's a great statement.
Most people from your neighborhood are not in favor of this.
They're not in favor of the supermarket as a whole.
No, but the connection, there was some.
They don't
distinction.
want the
And
connection?
some
They don't want the-
They want between residents and the commercial,
I remember
but
that
it hasn't been
conversation.
finalized in the
Alright.
court system, so once that is, then hopefully we can see where we can go from there.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
All right,
Minutes.
the minutes. As edited. Did anybody get a chance to look?
I read them, but I didn't get a chance to review her
I
comments.
didn't send them out again. I
She
did
had
know.
one specific comment about,
In your
about-
motion, John, I did reword it a little more.
okay, perfect. I did
If
not.
you want, if you want to take a look at which I think,
I
think
did,
uh,
but I
was
didn't,
able to figure out what she was looking for.
yeah, I
Sorry
didn't,
to-
I didn't understand the deficiency in the first version in the first place, so I will approve whatever was the
So
improvement.
you're making a motion to approve?
Anybody have a problem with it? No? Motion to approve the minutes?
Is there a
I
second?
second.
Second.
Catherine, second.
No, I be,
All in favor?
I,
Any opposed?
I could appreciate what she was saying. Part of it was, I guess I didn't get into the weeds of it because I knew that definitely gets highlighted in the other, board meeting and it's the zoning board.
oh,
If they're specifically looking at how they're gonna grant.
cause I mean, I thought they were good ideas, but
No, I mean, it can never hurt to just reiterate that, so.
Yeah.
No, no problem at all.
Sorry, I'm making quick notes.
Mhm.
I
Alright,
thought I was gonna have a couple other. Like an informal meeting about somebody interested in property, so. Perhaps at the next meeting, just to let you know. But I also am hoping that there's some reprieve and that maybe. If I
Have a
We
month
haven't
off.
had we haven't had a day off in a long.
No, I know, I
I
actually
don't mind.
thought this was going to be it, and then literally 3 things came up within a couple of days, but. This is the only thing that we got submitted.
So I have questions. I mean, they changed their hose color. So,
They did.
yeah, the hoses, they showed up with blue hoses and then said that was a bridge too far and then put it back.
Do you wanna have that conversation
not,
now or?
Yeah, I'm gonna read through that document in a minute. Just,
Okay, just wanted to make sure that that was advisable.
are we
so we are,
off?
No,
No, we haven't
Go
made a
ahead, shut it off.
motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
we approved it. Okay,
Second,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
approved the minutes. Catherine was the second.
so you're doing, okay, John second, all right, so I will
aye.
close the meeting. Here.